Allostasis, Homeostasis, and the Cost of Physiological Adaptations by J. Shawkins. J. Shawkins is an American neuroscientist and psychologist best known for his research on allostasis and homeostasis responses to stress. He mixed up a bunch of complex ideas that were relevant to physiological adaptation, stress, and health in his book called Allostasis, Homeostasis, and the Cost of Physiological Adaptations. By integrating insights from neuroscience and psychology and other fields, Shawkins explores the general questions of how organisms achieve stability in a world where changes, which is also an existential philosophical question. In his work, he focuses on the cost of these adaptations as well as the implications for health, thus offering a comprehensive framework of understanding biological responses and environmental stressors. Moreover, he was written widely on the triad of biology, psychology, and evolutionary theory in relation to the physiological responses that have been subject to natural selection across generations. As it is told in the book, homeostasis means how a body, society retains its internal conditions stable even if external things change. Homeostasis highlights the balance between various physiological functions, including the homeothermy, acid-base equilibrium, and concentration of blood glucose.
The concept of homeostasis is maintaining the internal environment of an organism within tolerable limits. It is well established in medicine and psychology. In contrast, allostasis is a newer idea that explains how organisms maintain viability across various contexts by adjusting to differing bodily needs and motivations. Allostasis refers to the way the body maintains balance, highlighting the important role of central nervous system in these adjustments. Shawkins' book is the first to focus entirely on allostasis and connect it to the issue like depression, stress, and anxiety. Important aspect of allostasis includes its focus, the body's ability to adapt, the possibility of system failure under extreme stress. This view highlights the brain environment in coordinating this process. A critical aspect of allostasis is allostatic load, the cumulative energy required to maintain homeostasis while adapting to environmental changes, like in various physical and social challenges. Overall, Shawkins' work emphasizes the dynamic interplay between stability and change in biological systems. Allostasis. It is the body's ability to achieve stability through practice changes in response to stressors, while the homeostasis maintains internal equilibrium despite external fluctuations. And the psychological adaptation refers to long-term adjustment to environmental changes, emphasizing biological resilience. This approach contrasts traditional homeostasis by focusing on the extensive role of the central nervous system in maintaining internal viability amid diverse challenges.
Allostasis is a biological concept that explains how the body maintains internal stability through change. It goes beyond homeostasis, which focuses on keeping internal conditions constant and emphasizes the body's ability to adapt to various stressors by adjusting physiological process. Allostasis is crucial in understanding how the body manages stress and balance in the face of changing environments and challenges. Key concepts of allostasis include dynamic adaptation, system involved, allostatic load, energy efficiency, and physiological and physical stress. Importance of allostasis in health is highlighted by its importance for short-term survival and adaptation. Long-term activation of the body's adaptive mechanism can lead to chronic health problems like hypertension, metabolic disorders, and mental health issues. Understanding allostasis provides a comprehensive framework for understanding how the body maintains stability by adapting to constant change, but also how excessive stress can lead to negative health outcomes. Principles of allostasis include optimal design, predictive regulation, pathophysiology, and rational therapeutic approaches. These principles illustrate how the body's ability to adapt dynamically is central to health and how disruption in this system can lead to disease. In social psychology, homeostasis refers to the process by which individuals and groups strive to restore emotional and social balance when faced with stressors like conflict, rejection, or pressure to conform. After a disturbance, people may seek reconciliation or adjust their behavior to bring the situation back to a harmonious state, much like the body stabilizes after a physical disruption. Allostasis, by contrast, goes beyond simply restoring balance. It involves continuously adapting to changing social conditions by anticipating stress before it occurs and proactively adjusting behavior. For instance, someone facing regular social stress, such as workplace pressure or interpersonal conflict, might develop coping strategies in advance, like seeking social support or practicing mindfulness to handle future challenges. While this adaptive response helps manage stress and come at a cost, allostatic load refers to accumulated physical and psychological wear and tear from constant adaptation. Over time, prolonged stress can lead to serious health issues such as chronic fatigue, anxiety, or high blood pressure. At the group level, communities under persistent stress, such as those facing discrimination or social exclusion, may experience similar long-term health and well-being consequences, even if they develop resilience or solidarity. In summary, homeostasis aims to establish balance after social stress, while allostasis involves continuous adjustment to anticipate the challenge. However, the ongoing burden of adapting to stress can lead to allostatic load, causing physical and mental health problems for individuals and communities alike.
Costs of adapting in social contexts are critically studied in allostasis, homeostasis, and the cost of physiological adaptation, especially as they relate to social anxiety, burnout, and group dynamics. Forming and sustaining social interactions can be extremely difficult for people with social anxiety disorder, which often results to an excessive compliance to group norms, even when those standards are harmful. For example, in order to fit in and accepted, individuals who suffer from high levels of social anxiety may align themselves with unfair group practices. This can lead to unbearable encounters, feelings of loneliness, and burnout in social situations. It has been demonstrated that distant work arrangements worsen this problem since social anxious people may feel more psychological distance from colleagues, which reduce their chances of supportive relationships and meaningful contacts. Also, responses to stress can be socially transmitted among groups. Although this can have positive short-term effects in some situations, it often results in negative long-term physiological effects, such as prolonged stress and its negative effects on health. Thus, realizing the cost of social adaptation highlights the necessity for supportive environments that promote positive social interactions and highlights the delicate balance between an individual's well-being and group dynamics. The subtle study of stress adaptation in allostasis, homeostasis, and the cause of physiological adaptation, edited by J. Skulkin, significantly changes our understanding of physiological and context. The book outlines the important distinction between homeostasis and allostasis, emphasizing that homeostasis deals with maintaining stable internal factors, whereas allostasis is the process of reaching stability through change in response to stresses. This dynamic framework highlights the fact that social contexts and interactions have a significant impact on physiological reactions to stress, making them more than just mechanical reactions. The comments from a range of authors show how social connections can act as stress reducers by offering emotional support that lessens physiological strain. This realization highlights the adaptive importance of social networks and overcoming obstacles in life and implies a close relationship between social networks and our capacity to manage stress. Because of this, my perception of stress has changed to acknowledge that it is complicated interaction between biological responses and the social context in which they occur, rather than just an individual physiological phenomenon. This holistic viewpoint promotes a more thorough method of researching stress adaptation that takes into account both biological process and the significant influence of social dynamics on health outcomes.